they're obviously very good defensively, particularly inside. What about their interior defense sticks out to you?
Well, they play a switching man and a zone that basically is like man to man and switching. They really are aggressive, pressuring the ball. They do a phenomenal job of contesting every shot that you take. They pressure the ball. They were number one in the country last year in field goal percentage defense on the road. I mean, that's who Mick has been now for years and done a phenomenal job with their program, Coach Cronin. And they every possession is battle. I thought that Steve Lapis made a great comment watching one of their games that I was listening to in preparation for ours. He said, they play every possession like it's life and death. And I can't think of a greater compliment to pay a team. How hard they play, how physical they are, how tough they are, how they hustle, how they work. So, I have nothing but, unbelievable accolades for them as a team and the energy they bring and the passion to the game.
Go here to the front.
Playing against them last year, I know your team has got a majority of the same guys back. How much similarity are they? How much can you use last year's game to kind of get your game plan for this one?
Well, they absolutely annihilated us last year, and they were a really good team last year, and they're very good again this year. And they have a number of those guys back. Cumberland obviously is their leading scorer and a really good player, but you look at Jennifer, and you look at Trey Scott, who's really playing well for him inside. Broom is an outstanding player. I love the big kid inside, 33. He's a beast. He plays incredibly hard. They are really talented, and they have depth. They have depth up front. Their depth is what's really impressive. I mean, they just keep bringing in athletic, long bodies that play extremely hard and physical.
Getting questions for Coach. We'll get the microphone to you. We'll go here to Tyler in the front.
Going back to the topic of defense, you called a timeout earlier in that Clemson game after a couple easy buckets, and then it looked like Clemson got a few more easy buckets. Where do you think your defense stands right now?
I think our defense is why we win. I thought we got a little gassed in that game, up 20, and we only went in at halftime up 8, or I think we were up 19 actually. But credit them. I mean, they were getting some runouts on us, and we got a little tired. We're playing real hard, and we conditioned a lot the last 3 days, and it's been a really tough week for our guys because our guys are still taking finals right now. We have 3 guys with finals today at 3:00. We have Q's got 2 finals today. He's got to finish by 11:00. Lamar still has one, so they've been studying, cramming, taking tests. So this is a tough week to be preparing for, the biggest game of the year to date. But it is what it is.
Getting questions. We'll have Craig get the microphone to you. We'll go to Logan, and then we'll go over here to Brett again.
Obviously shot the ball extremely well from three-point range the other day. How many of those guys have the green light? Do you feel comfortable, them turning it loose at any point?
Well, when we take good open shots, I feel really comfortable with, the vast majority of our guys shooting the ball from 3. You don't see Abdul take a 3 probably. You won't see EJ take a 3. But just about everybody else, that is playing for us can shoot and take a 3 when they're open. And, we did shoot it well. But the thing is, we were making the extra pass. And when you look at our last game, we had 22 assists, if I'm not mistaken, in our 28 baskets. I mean, that is the key, is that making the extra pass to guys that are open, is big. And the way they played us, they were playing us to, pack it in and make you take outside shots. So that's what our guys did.
We heard from Lamar in the preseason. We were expecting a more mature version of him, both on and off court, but particularly with how he made decisions and shot selection and running the offense. And he's obviously playing pretty well recently. Do you think this is the manifestation of Lamar growing up as a player?
Yeah, and I thought he played like that in the last third of the year, big time for us a year ago. And I think all this work and all this expectation, all this anticipation, all this anxiety, I thought he came out and was really pressing. And he's finally just letting it come to him. And now the game's moving slower, and he ain't missing. Today, in practice, this morning before practice, he came in and, we shoot 50 segments of 50 from 7 different spots with no one guarding him. He was 137 for 150 from 3. That's shooting it when no one guarding him. 137 for 150, that's hard to do. What is that percentage? Can someone give me that percentage? 137 for 150? 80 what?
Probably closer to 91.
91. So you shoot 91% from 3 with, that's good shooting. And so we want him, when he takes open shots, it's a high percentage shot. And it's that work, and that's why, he was a little anxious to start to see it because he put in all his work. I mean, that's how he can shoot. He shooting 91% from 3 today. And he's been shooting like that in practice. He's open. It's going. And Q shot it great today. They're putting extra time in. We'll have guys. We just practice hard for 2 hours. We'll have half a dozen guys here tonight shooting on their own, which is great. I mean, they really care. And that's, I said after the game, I've never had a group work this hard collectively on their shot. I love it.
This team is probably the best shot blocking team y'all have faced this year. Where do you think your post offense is right now in its development?
I would say guys are still finding their niche, like basically when they get the ball, just knowing their go-to moves and just get more comfortable, playing in different positions and situations.
With Lamar playing as well as has the last couple games and really since going back to the NIT last year, have you kind of enjoyed watching his growing up process, both behind the scenes and on the court and things? And were you ever, I don't know, was there ever a point, I know his freshman year he had overslept that one game, things like that. Was there ever a point where you kind of wondered if he could get to this point, and now here he is, shining week in and week out?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a process, everybody's process is different, he's growing up, he's becoming a man in his own shoes, he's understanding things, he's working harder than ever. So like I'm me and the team is so proud of him right now just because of the strides he has taken over the last 2 or 3 years.
The game that y'all played against Cincinnati last year in Kentucky, just what do you remember about that matchup?
Everything our coach said. It's gonna be physical. It's basically playing upper echelon SEC team, a team that really wants to win, and they pride off their defense, and they came out from the jump and they showed it.
Anything else for Eric? Go ahead and get it to Tyler here in the front, to Eric's left.
Speaking of taking pride in defense, Coach Allen just said that your defense is probably the reason that you guys win a lot of the games that you are winning. How comfortable do you feel in the way you guys are playing defensively right now?
I would say we're playing pretty good. We're playing good enough to win, but we still have strides where I think we can get way better to where we can really show what we really can do. We're taking big steps though every game. Somebody stepping up and people. Well, with our team right now, with the young guys, they learning fast. So us leaders are just trying to set the tone, and we're just flowing with the pace.